Good morning. Welcome to the University of Denver's 2017 Summer Commencement Ceremony, commemorating the completion of the university's 153rd academic year. I am Douglas Scrivener, Chair of the Board of Trustees. I join with my fellow trustees in congratulating the candidates who will receive their degrees at this morning's ceremony. We are all proud of their work and achievement. I now call this commencement to order. We will open with the national anthem, led by Christiana McMullen, a graduate at the Lamont School of Music. Please remain standing for the invocation, which will be offered by our university chaplain, the Reverend Gary Brower.
Please join with me in prayer. Creator, known by many names, as we begin our celebration today, breathe into us a spirit of healing and peace as we pay respect to the original Arapaho and Cheyenne owners, both past and present, of the land on which the University of Denver stands. Source of wisdom, you have given the gifts of grace and skill in teaching to instructors, faculty members, mentors, and colleagues. Thank you for all that they have meant to the students who will receive their diplomas this day. Holy One of Love, you have provided these students with supportive and caring communities throughout their educational journeys, from families of origin to families of choice, or the friends of playgrounds to the friends of classrooms and residence halls. We thank you. Servant of all, administration and behind-the-scenes work are gifts from you, gifts we often overlook. For the trustees, administrators, and staff who keep this institution running, who raise money and pay the bills, who ensure that requirements are met, the grades are recorded, and that the internet works, mostly. For the health and counseling staff that keep us well, for the hospitality and housekeeping staff and groundskeepers who labor to provide such a wonderful atmosphere for learning. Thank you. God of justice, through the education these students have received at the University of Denver, they have been equipped to make a difference in the world in which they live. Amidst news of human-caused and natural catastrophes, economic uncertainties, ethnic and religious conflict, struggles for freedom against oppressive regimes, and political systems where sound bites and bombast seemingly triumph over substance. Imbue these graduates with a sense of hope for the future, a passion to right wrongs, and the will to bring those intentions to fruition. Overcomer of obstacles, we bid your special presence in the hearts of these graduates. They have excelled in the classroom, they have been champions in sports, they have seen buildings torn down and built up, When faced with great challenges, losses, and disappointments, they have prevailed. They have succeeded. May they, in the midst of happy celebration, hear your clear, encouraging voice saying, "Well done." And may they, looking back at their time at DU, sense your call forward into a lifetime full of adventure and purpose, and know that you and we will be cheering them on. Dancing, Lord, be our partner as we celebrate with joy today. Amen.
You may be seated. As the chaplain rightly mentioned, graduates, there are so many people to thank. Faculty, staff, coaches, friends. But I want to begin this ceremony, even before I say congratulations, by having you thank your families. Your families have been here for you. They have supported you. They are incredibly proud, and families, you have every right to be incredibly proud of these graduates. So I'm going to ask all the graduates to rise, turn, and thank their families. Thank you. And now let me be the first to say, congratulations, class of 2017. Yay! It's now my pleasure to introduce Jonathan Lopez, an esteemed member of our university alumni community, because after today, you become a member of the amazing worldwide alumni community of DU. Mr. Lopez earned a BSBA in 2010 and is a residential realtor and co-founder of the Glary Ross Group at Kentwood Real Estate. Please welcome Mr. Lopez.
If you're going to take off, we're going to do a finish ceremony here, so it's a really great time to walk out.
Good morning. Congratulations, graduates, on your academic achievements, and welcome to the Pioneer alumni community. Today, you join our DU alumni network that numbers nearly 140,000 pioneers who live and work in the Front Range, across the country and around the world, and I'm so honored to welcome you to the family. The University of Denver is here to help keep you connected in the days, months, and decades after you receive your diploma. Whether you find yourself in Denver, Dallas, or Denmark, you are a pioneer for life, and there are so many ways to stay engaged with each other and with our university. We're excited to stay in touch with you and wish you all the best for what will certainly be a bright future. Congratulations, and go Pios.
Thank you, Jonathan. Summer commencement is for many of us on the stage and now for many of you, a very special moment. Intimate, a little bit warm, but we gathered together to send off our new alumni who will leave momentous lives of purpose. To send the class of 2017 off on their lives of purpose, I'm pleased to introduce Dr. Andre Kutalatse, a professor in the Department of Chemistry and Biochemistry, as well as the Dean of the Division of Natural Sciences and Mathematics. Dr. Kutalatse earned his PhD from Moscow State University in 1986 and joined the University of Denver in 1995 as an assistant professor. He has been recognized as a university distinguished scholar, and in 2009, he was awarded the John Evans Professorship for attaining international distinction and scholarly achievement in his field. Andre has deeply held core values about the importance and integrity of the research process in universities. In all discussions, even those that are tactical and/or informal, he is measured, empirical, and seeks common ground. And you will also see his wry sense of humor. But he never compromises his core academic values, and we all deeply respect him for that. While Andre is committed to his academic leadership role as dean, he just can't shake that commitment to research. He frequently leaves after work functions and returns to his lab. Andre runs the chemistry department's K group, which focuses on organic photochemistry and its applications to medical, chemistry, biochemistry, and chemical biology fields. He has published over 100 papers in scientific journals and holds a number of patents. His contributions have helped develop and strengthen DU's STEM program, and he continues to be a leader for the university in both teaching and scientific research, doing this all while he's a very busy dean. Please join me in welcoming Dean Andre Kuteladze as our commencement speaker.
Thank you, Chancellor. Good morning. Good morning, graduates. I am delighted that I can call you colleagues now. Welcome, families and friends. Chancellor Chap, Provost Quistad, Chairman Scrivener, members of the Board of Trustees, fellow deans and faculty. It gives me great pleasure to congratulate our new graduates and their families with this milestone achievement. Everyone should feel good today, and we all should feel good on so many levels. Yet, commencement is a bittersweet moment. You graduates probably are feeling a little bit blue today about parting ways with all your friends here at DU, so many things you've done together, all this hard work, studying, lectures, late night homeworks, research projects, and all the other things that you've done that you will not mention here in front of your grandmas. So at the same time, you're all excited. You're all excited to enter this wonderful and warm and big world, or maybe cold and competitive and troubled world, right? And it's somewhat scary, and you're trying to figure it all out right now, right this moment. So the first word of wisdom, don't try to figure out your future all at once. Take it one day at a time. So use a scientific method. Acquire information, process information, make an informed decision, repeat, right? So I was contemplating what to tell you today, and commencement speakers normally are supposed to share some profound wisdoms with you, like never follow someone else's path, or be who you are and say what you feel. I don't think that I'm qualified in this department. I'm a scientist, a chemist, a skeptic. So I have too much appreciation for good humor and this good old American sense of skepticism with a whiff of cynicism. Think Mark Twain. So, give you an example of what I mean. Let's try to deconstruct this never follow someone else's path statement. Actually, comedians are much better than scientists in deconstructing stuff. So I'm going to just quote Ellen DeGeneres at Tulane's commencement. And I'm quoting verbatim. Stay true to yourself. Never follow someone else's path. Unless you're in the woods and you're lost and you see a path, and then by all means you should follow that. So here is an excellent primer of scientific method. It is also an example that good, smart people tend not to be too full of themselves. You're about to enter this big world, how to find your way, how to stand out in the crowd. Scary? We're talking huge swaths of history, time, space, billions of people, and here we're discussing the latest from Elon Musk and the robots taking over the Earth, you know, how to process all this. Anxiety will always be the part of the equation. One inspirational speaker tells you, the world needs you, and another voice in your head, the world doesn't give a dead rat about you, right? So then the skeptical, practical baseball player, Earl Wilson, chimes in. If you think nobody cares if you are alive, try missing a couple of payments. And that plants your feet firmly back on earth. you will be fine. You're smart, you're kind, you have social skills. You'll be fine. So someone also said that selflessness is the best thing you can do for yourself. This is an awesome paradox. But I think a tagline of my address today will be the scientific method. Always apply where possible. Think about it. What did you learn at University of Denver? The most important skill you acquire in a college or in graduate school is to learn, how to analyze facts, how to process information, how to deal with the unknown. That's what your last research project was all about. This is a very sophisticated yet nebulous, hard to define skill, how to deal with the unknown. And it is really immaterial whether you are a biology major or history major or an MBA graduate. More than half of you will eventually be employed in jobs that do not exist yet. Think about it. You had this wonderful journey with your professors and your classmates exploring the unknown. Now let's just continue this journey. The good news is there is only two simple criteria for success, two simple conditions for success. Number one is hard work, and number two is hard work. So, seriously, there is this quote ascribed to the great inventor Thomas Edison. The reason most people do not recognize an opportunity when they meet it is because it usually goes around wearing overalls and looking like hard work. True, but the word hard is a real misnomer here. What is so hard about doing something you're so passionate about? Some people may sigh. Another science dean is preaching about putting in long hours and telling you, when I was a kid, we had to walk barefoot in snow uphill both ways to school, right? So I actually have a much lighter take on this issue. Someone smart once said about life journeys, knowledge is weightless. You can pack as much of it with you on your journey as you wish. Don't be afraid of learning. I know. It sure didn't feel like that when you were cramming for the last organic chemistry exam, and your heavy head was about to explode under all this weight of resonance structures of benzene and carbons with trigonal planar hybridization. It sure did not feel like the knowledge is weightless. Still, the most important thing about college is to learn how to learn. Now that you know, never stop learning. Remain curious. Curiosity is only harmful to cats. It's okay for humans. Don't forget to thank your parents for all they did and will do for you. Like many people of their generation, my own parents had to overcome a lot of challenges and adversity in their lives. You can't make this stuff up. If my mother taught me anything, it was how to be kind and how to value education and the power of facts. She also knew a thing or two about grit and resilience. Both of her parents perished during Stalin's purges when she was only 7 years old. These were very different times. But every time Chancellor Chop talks with our students about grit and resiliency and the value of education, these words resonate with me. It is hard to overestimate the power of education. And something is telling me that we have the whole graduation green here full of enlightened parents who share a similar value system. So thank you, parents. The age of enlightenment began in 1700s, but I hate to break it to you graduates. It's a big, big world, and it will take a long time and a lot of effort and patience to educate the whole of humanity. So open your hearts and minds to new exciting things, to exploration and discovery. Be your own catalyst for purposeful life. Do you know that in a strict sense, the chemical term catalyst means something that accelerates chemical reaction? Instructively, it does it by lowering or removing the barriers, activation barriers. So University of Denver could not have better aspirational statement than catalyst for purposeful life. Let's just remove the barriers so that good things and transformational changes happen faster. And do not forget about your scientific method. Always work on your inner skeptic. Keep refining your ability to separate the credible from hot air. This is no longer just the sciences domain. I'm, again, getting to the fine balance of skeptical versus cynical. There's an important clarification, though. I'm a fan of the New York Times columnist Thomas Friedman, the guy who wrote The World is Flat and so on. He's sort of my generation, so we see many things eye to eye. Actually, my wife, Tanya, and I accidentally bumped into Mr. Friedman, of all places, in Musée d'Orsay in Paris and chatted at the backdrop of Toulouse-Lautrec, but it's a separate story. So Friedman once commented on a big difference between being cynical, which is not so bueno, and being skeptical, which is a must these days. Skeptical and factual. I wish more people in every walk of life would apply scientific method more often. At a recent chemistry conference over the beers, one of my colleagues brought up the fact that there are a number of fairly successful politicians with advanced chemistry degrees. As they say, something must be in the water, or in benzene in this case, right? Give you a couple of examples. Being a photochemist, I'd be remiss not to mention the Nobel Prize laureate and inventor of flash photolysis, Sir George Porter, who unveiled the secret of life of molecules on very, very short time scales, microseconds. It's 1/millionth of a second. Now, of course, DU students have access to our nanosecond laser flash photolysis instrument. That would be 1/billionth of a second time resolution. So, Sir George was a member of House of Lords and the founding chair of the Committee on the Public Understanding of Science, who gave prominent lectures like Science and the Human Purpose at Oxford, and Dimbleby lecture, which he titled, Knowledge Itself is Power. Knowledge itself is power. That night, we also talked about Margaret Thatcher, who had a PhD from Oxford, where her dissertation was on the structure of antibiotic gramicidin. Thatcher was reportedly more proud of becoming the first prime minister with an advanced science degree than the first female prime minister. Another example is Angela Merkel of Germany, who led Christian Democratic Union to many victories, which gave her the position of German chancellor a few years after she defended her PhD in quantum chemistry. Actually, there's something about quantum mechanics. Even my own classmate with a PhD in quantum chemistry served twice as a finance minister of Lithuania, which also highlights my points about career paths, that it's okay. It is okay not to know what to do right after the graduation. Chaim Weizmann, the famous biochemist who founded the Weizmann Institute, was the first president of Israel. Going further back into the history, Cannizzaro. Everyone here, of course, remembers the Cannizzaro reaction from your kindergarten organic chemistry class, the disproportionation of benzaldehyde into benzoic alcohol and benzoic acid. Cannizzaro was actually elected into Italian Senate, of which he was vice president in 1800s. General societal attitudes toward educated people, writers, historians, scientists, poets, and mathematicians are also very, very instructive. Here is an example of quaternion algebra introduced by Irish mathematician named Hamilton. There is this fascinating process that doubles the dimensions of numbers available for arithmetic. So starting with the real numbers, then moving on to a complex number, you just introduce another dimension, the imaginary dimension, as we all are well remember from our pre-kindergarten algebra, right? And then another dimension, you got quaternion. So it's kind of difficult to multiply these things, but he figured it out. There is this Brougham Bridge in the city of Dublin with a memorial plaque describing Hamilton's discovery. Here, as he walked by on the 16th of October, 1843, William Hamilton, in a flash of genius, discovered the fundamental formula for quaternion multiplication and cut it on a stone of this bridge. This is profound. As you can see, these acts of random vandalism by renowned mathematicians were encouraged by the Irish society at the time. Not only Hamilton was not arrested right there with his chisel on the bridge, he got a plaque to commemorate this event. In his defense, of course, he didn't have an iPhone to quickly update his Twitter status with his new formula, so he had to walk around with a chisel in his pocket. And here you thought that there is only the Guinness Brewery and the Prison Museum to see in the great city of Dublin. So the point of my story is, all the successful and smart individuals had this ability to analyze data and promptly make informed decisions. And most advanced societies actually encouraged and nurtured this modus operandi. There is simply too much information out there, and the quality of it often leaves much to be desired. So every time you receive information which may not look or feel right, confidently deploy your skepticism and scientific method and process this information with your own brains, with your own awesome brain power, which happen to be superbly trained and refined by your favorite professors at this great university of ours. So I want to tell you how lucky you are to have attended University of Denver. Being associated with the school for more than a quarter of a century, I can confidently tell you that the university is on a spectacular trajectory. Denver and the whole Front Range is on a spectacular trajectory. So cherish your pioneer memories and stay connected. Maintain your friendships developed here. 35 years after my own graduation, many of my good friends are from my alma mater. But do not dwell on the past. Move forward, make new friends, learn new language, move on. Leave your mark on this world, sky is the limit. We will be cheering for you. And again, do not worry too much. You will be fine. You will have a great and intellectually challenging professional life ahead of you before the robots take over. So good luck with it, and good luck with everything.
Thank you so much, Andre. I now call upon Dr. Greg Kivestat, Provost and Executive Vice Chancellor, to present the degree candidate.
Thank you, Chancellor Chop. Would the candidates for the doctoral degrees please rise? Chancellor Chop, I have the privilege of presenting to you the candidates for the doctoral degrees. These candidates have met all requirements and are entitled to receive their diplomas at this time.
Upon the recommendation of the faculty of the University of Denver, and by virtue of the authority vested in me by the Board of Trustees, I hereby confer upon each of you the degree of Doctor of Philosophy, Doctor of Psychology, Doctor of Education, or Juris Doctor, and admit you to all the rights, powers, and privileges pertaining hereto. I shall now hand you your diploma and direct that you be invested with the appropriate hood.
Saleh Mohammed Abdran. Ibrahim Saad Al-Saidin. Ahmed Abdulaziz Azamil. Michael Schaefer Ballard. Birgit Brandes. Zhao Chen. Arlene Calaby. Rachel Lynn Golden. Brian Gruey. Lauren Darlene Gully. Thad N. Horrell. Kate Lindsay Dresner-Hoyt. Eliana Hurwitz Rice. Min Soon Ji. Daniel William Johnson. Sergio Fernando Juarez. Lauren Marie Cole. Melvin Robert Kurzmo. Jishuan Lin. Lucina Makarian. Xingwei Miao. Keisha Kayon Morgan. Anne Christine Opterbeck Obermann. Tosapon Poncom Hung. Jeffrey Bruce Satterthwaite. Lisa Jarnigan Schluter. Ian Arthur Slayton. The Doctor of Psychology degrees, Sophia Kamel Ben Hamu. John Bodycomb. Christina Rashuti Berg. Joshua Ryan Berg. Timothy Wayan Chan. Amy Ching King. Jacqueline Ann Cousin. Elizabeth Ann Coyle. Giovanni Marie Darden. Jillian Steffi Diamond. Ogagiev. Hillary Catherine Grady Speckhalls. William Yu Wong. Samantha Berry Kluger. Sarah Elizabeth Long. Julie Malowski Griffin. Kimberly L. Muller. Timothy Andrew Pasternak. Mark Jonathan Perkel. Nora Christina Rascon. Sherry Sottingham. Jasmine Fagi Schnurstein. Ron Schwinkler. Gina Beth Schlachter. Catherine Corning Spencer. Jennifer Marianne Struck. Imbiyog Tors. Bethany Ann Vibert. Christy Cassidy Wall. Carly Jill Walters. Alyssa Weber. Suzanne Williams. The Doctor of Education degree, Corey Canty Wessner. Michelle Renee Dubois.
Congratulations to all of you who have just received your doctoral degrees from the University of Denver. I call again upon Dr. Kivstat to present the candidates for the master's degrees.
Will the candidates for the master's degrees please rise? Chancellor Chop, these candidates for the master's degrees have met the requirements of their respective programs and are entitled to receive their diplomas at this time.
Upon the recommendation of the faculty of the University of Denver, and by virtue of the authority vested in me by the Board of Trustees, I hereby confer upon each of you the master's degree and admit you to all the rights, powers, and privileges pertaining thereto. Congratulations to all of you.
Master of Legal Studies, Lauren Christine Markham. Graduate degrees in Arts and Sciences, Master of Arts, Alexandria M. Dries. Taylor L. Morrison. Misty D. Sarabal. Emily Josephine Stark. Kara L. Underwood. Master of Science degrees, Joanroy Chaprukan. Ryan Wesley Keeney. Hannah Ruth Lewis. Noelle C. Punison. Elizabeth Eugenia Ignowski. Marie Illa Gosselin. Christopher John Wellens II. Kelsey White. Morgridge College of Education, Master of Arts degree, Muhammad Abdulaziz A. Al-Kaba. Hannah Beller. Jacqueline Lachelle Berryman. Heather Lawton Cabot. Kathleen E. Kumujian. Cassidy Beth Fenter. Valerie Dreinrich Hostadler. Rachel Shea Kaplan. Jessica Abbott Muller. Ryan Kiyoshi Ogji. Teresa Esperanza Perez. Cassie Rebecca Heckman Proudy. Tyler Patrick Ritt. Asta Solis. Sarah Ellen Smith. Omari Tariq Trimble. Chandler Van Fox. Henry Jacob Vogel. Carolyn Christine Widener. Savannah R. Wright. Master of Library and Information Science, Callie Jo Newberger. Brooke Ashley Riedemann. Mary Farah Elizabeth Taylor. The Joseph Corbell School of International Studies, Master of Arts degree, Erica Feather. Master of Public Policy degree, Chandler Charles Griffin. Cameron W. Shorkey. Master of Taxation degree, Mustafa Sanerul Alam. Taylor Mack Crowther. Elisa Damastuti. Lindsay Dawn Graves. Dara Josie. Lauren Kim. Sapto Kunakoro. Wisnu Kusuma. Sismadi. Walter Patrick Smith. Shrianita. Matthew David Thies. Tri Anto. Yangu Yao. Daniels College of Business, Master of Business Administration, Jeffrey Adam Donenfeld. Eric Matthew Ernest. Jason Craig Gitt. Thomas M. Kelly, Jr. Christopher Lawrence. Weston McCloy. Sarah Marie Procopio. Kautika Roy. Trijith Vijayanathan Nair. Jeffrey Ryan Velasky. Master of Accountancy degree, Naomi Catherine Babbitt. Tianxiang Xu. Xu Zhang. Yunkang Li. Master of Science degree, Mikhail Keze Piabo Alert. Konstantin Bizet. Carl James Barton. Joshua James Benton. Bondan Christianan Dinata. Georgina Christabel Ellison. Lakshmi Raghunathan Kolangode. Elvia G. Loya Enriquez. Tara Jean Thompson. Novan Andre Valen. Kaihu Xu. Graduate School of Social Work, Master of Social Work, Valerie R. Farsetti. Hello. Cristal Nicole Gutierrez. Degrees from University College, Master of Arts. Erica Olga Barraza Cordova. Martha Veye Brown. Yana Dominique Elmore. Amanda R. Jones. Catherine Lucille Kirkland. Nina Marie McGee. Elizabeth Amy Ramirez. Nena Seme Rose. Rachel Ann Stanley Williams. Master of Science degree, Bright Sena Amusu. Donald E. Arnold. Brady Virginia Benjamin. Janine Courier. Juan Jose Campos. Mohana Priya Dasari. Courtney Alyssa Isis. Patrick Brian Henry Firestone. Danish Chowdhury Garikpati. Carlos Garrido. Belinda Susanna Gisbert. Dana Lynn Gregory. Galen Michael Hammond. Katie Allison Helm. Amber Dawn Hoek. Weilun Wang. Tara Jones. Rocky Carroll. Amber Lopez. Samia Sana Mall. Sravia Mandava. Emily Martinez. Mark H. Martinez. Craig Michael Miller. Noah S. Moore. Kellyanne Mudaking. Lauren E. Oakley. Ellen A. Orr. Chanel Elise Saeed. Abby Lee Shelton. Kaylin Stingle Smith. Katagiri Srinath. Srinath Pantakota. Susan Ann Rao. Girish Kumar Verapelli. Camille D. Whistler. Master of Liberal Studies, Bodhi Jakitai. Danielle Suzanne Doucet. Sarah Irene Holmes. Nicholas T. Iwasaki. Emily Jo Milano. Daniel W. Staggs. Stephen Leon Wagner. Master of Applied Science, Jasmine Dolomik. Timur Gafarov. Ashley L. Pickens. Master of Professional Studies, Tiffany Carbone. Sarah Rafat Shirki Kastadni. Nicole Alexandra Lycola. Cherie E. Monteferrante.
Congratulations to all recipients of master's degrees. I now call on Dr. Kivstad to present the candidates for the baccalaureate degrees.
Will the candidates for the baccalaureate degrees please rise? Chancellor Chop, I have the privilege of presenting to you the candidates for the baccalaureate degrees. These candidates have met all requirements of their respective programs and are entitled to receive their diplomas at this time.
Upon the recommendation of the faculty of Denver, and by virtue of the authority vested in me by the Board of Trustees, I hereby confer upon each of you the baccalaureate degree and admit you to all the rights, powers, and privileges pertaining thereto. Congratulations to all of you.
Mariah M. Alegria. Stephanie C. Alsberg. Melissa K. Bigelow. Larcy Elizabeth Cheney Brooks, cum laude. Jamie Mitchell Dumont. Annie Fletcher Hirsch. Rachel Franz. Jordan H. Gluck. Yuan Kai. Annabelle Zimfer Gowler. James M. Gregg II. Matthew John Hauser. Yan Yung. Sahara Lynn Kuja. Connor Logan. Marissa Brigitte Mark. Anna Claire Metropolis, summa cum laude. Austin Miller, cum laude. Autumn Ann Moss. Stephanie Shannon Murphy. Carolyn Grace Murray. Tiffany Marie Oakes. Erin Nicole Rissler, cum laude. Yao Xiao. Yuan Zhang. Tyler Jacob Salvato. Bachelor of Science degree, Jingshu Hu. Nicholas Keaton Lewis. Yanyu Lee. Daniel Henderson. Stephanie Melgar-Donis. Bachelor of Science in Business Administration. Abdullah Al-Mubarak. Jinan Bo. Yishu Shin. Henry Harrison Hercom Farrell. Guanwei Fu. Anthony James Bachner. John Kirk Garrettson. Harrison Scott Kurth. Chase Stillman. Lee Joseph Kopecki. Jake Frederick King. Roman Raymond Crystal. Ryan William Massey. Kyle Sante Morlock. Andrea Moya Robinson. Georgina P. Ryder, cum laude. Todd Robert Bach. Omar Sotero Gutierrez. Ryan Castle Wedderston. Jory Zhang. Yujian Zhang. Bachelor of Science in Accounting, Haoming Wang. Jinan Zhu. Degrees from Colorado Women's College, the Bachelor of Arts degree, Nicole Helena Day, cum laude. Maria Elena Munoz. April Rogers. Christina M. Sanford, cum laude. Bachelor of Business Administration from the Women's College, Christina J. Klontz. Tracy Joy Moyo. Stacy Leanne Swift. Maria J. Taylor. Charlene Elaine Woodruff.
Congratulations to all those who've just received their baccalaureate degree. Good job. W.E.B. Du Bois once said, "Education and work are the levers to uplift a people. Work alone will not do it unless inspired by the right ideas and guided by intelligence. Education must not just teach work, it must also teach life." Now, I'm quite confident that all of you graduating today will be the catalyst. You will remove the barriers for yourselves, for your family, for the world. I'm comforted. I've seen your passion. I've seen your ability. I've seen your willingness to make a difference. As you enter the next chapter, whether it's industry, working with nonprofits or government, or pursuing additional education, you now do so as proud alumni of the University of Denver. Selective private universities like DU open untold opportunities for you. So make sure you work those connections. And although you and your families have worked very hard to make this day possible, always remember that attending DU has been a privilege not afforded to everyone. Our nation and world look to your creativity, intellect, and critical reasoning, and your use of the scientific method. I'll never forget that. Your compassion and your leadership as you take on new challenges. You combine a path-breaking spirit as a DU alum with intellect, ethical judgment, and a desire to seek solutions. You will enrich the world, you will enrich your families, you will build communities. Congratulations. Now, before we recess to our university reception, please rise and join Ms. McMullen in the singing of the university's alma mater, the Crimson and the Gold.
To spread the light of truth, they came, those hardy
Please be seated during the recessional.